Yes, family. Good Saturday evening. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the Tiki Bar. As usual, you already know the first 30 minutes is usually our happy hour, or should I say happy half hour. All right, where everybody come in, get to mingle, get to know each other, and just like a regular little bar, you get to talk to one another. Yeah, man, and get to know each other. So first things first, let me go ahead and I am going to pin this live, pin this message, so that way our guests can come up. Yeah, Clark's Legacy, welcome, blessings family. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Yeah, man, welcome to the Tiki Bar. Glad you could make it. So as you can see, it's a very nice day. Started out raining today still, but we always give thanks for the blessings from above. Showers are blessings. So I have my co-host. It's gonna be Special K, which most of you know already. If you haven't gone to over to her channel, go over and check her out. But she is currently dealing with some things, so she might be a little bit late, but we will be here to entertain you either way. All right. So yeah, man, bless up everybody and welcome to the live. As you check in, as I say, admission to the bar is basically like up the live. That is your ticket. So once you like up the live, you show it to security. I give you like a armband, right? And you can just come in at the bar. All right? Yeah, man. And once you're at the bar, whenever you're ready, you can step up to the bar, so we can have this conversation. So, yeah, man, I hope everybody's had a good week so far. Um, as I say, it's been another blessed week. As I say, every day we wake up, we have to give thanks to another great rise, because we don't promise tomorrow. So, every day we wake up, guess what? We gotta give thanks. All right? So as you guys can see, guys and girls, because we don't want to offend nobody. Um, High season, welcome, 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 welcome to the live. Yeah, man. So as you can see, I put the this week's topic on the banner that's scrolling across. You know, so you can see what are your life goals and how do you plan to achieve them. So this is gonna be a very special one. Knox Rai, welcome. Yeah, you say you're not checking in a few weeks. But that's how it is, man. Me understand, brother. Me work too. So, yeah, if you notice, I don't drop a video in the last week or so because, you know, we have to take care of what pay the bills, right? They have to do that first. So we have to make sure say that is done. And then YouTube is the second. I won't say the second job, but the second outlet. YouTube is an outlet for me. Oh yeah, hang on with Jerry. Boy, boy, Jerry look rough this morning. Me, I watching video this morning. I want to carry him out go party. Eh? I guess I guess him not come at the bar tonight, cause when I carry him out last night. Well, that's how it's supposed to be, man. Every rotation when you get, you have a full giant. Yeah, man. So when me saying look rough, that means him have a good night. Yeah, man. That is a blessing, man. So hopefully Jerry can touch it on the live as well tonight. Cause you know it go already. You have a full jar, you earth strong, man. Yeah, man. All right, that is it. Yeah, man. So that's what I say. I don't know what it go already. Hi, Dory. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, welcome to the live. As I'm gonna say, security tight tonight, so make sure so wanna like up the live. That is your ticket to the bar. Check in with security. All right, and security will let you up to the bar. So that's what I can say. That's what I say. All right, so I'm gonna see what the topic is tonight, and I'll just go over the ground rules again. All right, so oh, There's Jerry. Oh, the birthday boy is here early. Let me see if him. Let me see if him forward. Jerry,
Big up yourself.
blessed earth
Big up
strong, my brother.
yourself.
Oh, go on.
But there, bro, there, cook some food and sit down and music up.
Boy, look at.
I actually have my sound system strung up and was here juggling some music. Just
Yeah.
chilling, beating a drink for the tiki bars here, man.
See it there. See it there.
Hmm.
Blessed earth
Hmm.
strong, my brother. Blessed earth
Yes,
strong.
thank you, brother. Big up,
So
big
you
up.
say
And
you're old
when
enough to
when
start
you
drink
come at
today.
tiki bar, you come here, ready?
Wait,
Mm-hmm.
wait,
Ready,
wait,
ready.
say,
Yo, look here. Ready?
Jesus, please. Boy,
Mhm.
look at me. I'm gonna get to stock the bar for me now, Jerry.
Yeah.
you have you have all of the liquor them what we need.
Mm-hmm, sir. We're ready for the tiki bar today, man. We have all the sound system string of the tiki bar today.
That me
You
and
see
some
me?
man. So
Mm-hmm.
so Clark saying carry out for the day for your earth strong today.
Yeah, so like last night I went out last night. I went out to Pier 1 last night. I was actually went to both Pier 1 last night.
Yeah man,
And then
me could I tell me see your video.
the bump into some youngins, some young folks, really, really young folks, like
Mm-hmm.
kids age. And they decided, man, it was like, yo, you're not leaving here straight tonight. I couldn't even get up this morning to go fishing. I left there, leaned up. So I ended up coming and staying home. So right now, I have a half a hug in I open up to. And then
Okay.
the grill outside, I have the grill right outside. So make some rice and peas and some ribs and some pork chops and you know,
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw you know me say already food for them, you know.
Yeah, man. So we there cook it up, bro. So we there going on, say the pork half a run, the fire half a run with the pork. So mm-hmm.
Why me just take off one big piece of pork shoulder off a grill a few minutes ago.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah, man.
when we
I
see
mean, a
that
clock
video the
legacy,
next week.
clock legacy
Okay.
there, right?
Oh, see him there? Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Blessings, Clark.
Clock play. The man Mario play Monopoly.
Okay. Yeah, man.
So
We're there, man. We're there. Because me
yeah.
glad you could have check in. That's what me say. You know, tonight, me just like go over little ground rules for make people know, say, once them check in and like up the live, understand, say, this is a open chat. Anybody can step up to the bar and just, kind of
Yes, man.
introduce themselves.
Mhm.
I mean, really and truly, this, is towards a lot of the young folks tonight. This is the reason why we picked this topic. As you
Yeah,
can see,
man.
Lynn is in the building.
All right. Big up everybody. Thank you, and thank you everybody. I can't really see the chat from this side, so
Yeah.
it's kind of yeah.
So, as always say, we always respect each other's opinion, and I would love for a lot of the younger folks that really and truly step up tonight, because what we are trying to do is we are talking about what life goals and how you plan
Hey
to
boy, come
achieve
out on
them, right?
mango tree. Sorry, brother. Come out on mango tree. Where you got a mango tree? Hey boy,
How
yo.
that?
You see, that's why you don't invite people come here and they want to climb your mango tree.
Well, mango for
Man, go
eat,
on
man.
Julie. Go on Julie, go eat Julie. You don't understand?
Mango for eat.
Man, go on about those mangoes you walk over in the hand.
Yeah, man. So, but that's what we say. We are going to have a prize for whoever. And again, you have to step up to the bar and just kind of give us your life goals and how you plan to achieve them. And what we are planning on doing is we're gonna help somebody. We don't know who it is yet. And
Mm-hmm.
unlike last week, when we know what we were gonna give, this one is gonna be a little bit different, because depending upon what the person says what they need to achieve their goals is
Mm-hmm.
what we're gonna provide based on that. So if it's a YouTuber where you need equipment, or you is a person that's in college that need books or a laptop or something like that. So we're gonna choose the gift based on, yeah, what the individual needs.
All right.
So that is how we're gonna pick the person tonight. So we're not do a drawing tonight. We're gonna base it off of what who has the need and
All
who
right.
we can provide the help for, you know? So but yeah man, we're there in that channel as you know, an early one, as usual. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
early juggling's go already.
I
So
know I keep me there, master, and like I say, I saw Trenton me there deal with, and line them up. I'm not sure the Trenton well soft up. Feel like Trenton lover them.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
man. We are talk to the ultimate Trenton lover right now, you know.
So, you know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want up the sound.
Yeah, man, I warm up the song, but I juggle up a while
So
the meeting. Yeah,
you know a couple of people that come over to the house there for
yeah,
help
man,
you full
couple of people
time.
are forward.
It's strong.
Couple of people are forward. Whole heap of
Okay.
people. And I open there, base up some pork right now. You know, so.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
know said early still, and most people probably not show up till about 9, 10 o'clock.
Nah, sir, so them people stay and show up late.
Yeah. Well,
Come in late and thing. And say, oh, my
they say
brethren just show up here for the while late. Most of the certain things come, so I can't get you ready. I'm have to scramble right now.
well, they might
So,
wait for the food. They might make sure when they show up so the food ready already. You know it go already.
yeah, man. Everybody, I make sure that this. So, brethren, just link me up while, yo, that's circle here now. Food ready? I'm sitting there like, yeah.
it's well, it's the first question you ask is the food ready.
Yeah, man. Food ready? My God.
I say I
So,
forget the for 5 hours later. Just say, yeah man, the food ready man, and the 5 hours man.
I'm going to come early instead of late. And you know, if I do
Yeah
later,
man.
wait for them.
And when them
Mm-hmm.
show up, you just put them to work, you know? I
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm all, yeah. Start greater than that. Yeah, man. Yes, bro. So,
yeah man. So
yeah,
we're there in the evening, yeah, man. As I said, hopefully everybody get an opportunity for, you know, come into the
yeah.
live and step up to the bar and kind of give them kind of.
I, I was actually live earlier when I went to the barber shop. And I was like, man, I can't be live in my barber shop because, you know, the barber is a place where you get relaxed and
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, nah, I don't feel this barber shop doing my life in the barber shop here.
Yeah, man, you have to just kick back, relax, and you can't
Mm.
you can't make
Yeah,
people know which part study where it is still, you know?
mm-hmm. So it's like I'm not doing this here. So I'm like, all right, I'll get live later or something. But like I said, I'm just there so chillax. I'm on and me and Brian are plan to push out on some serious fishing tomorrow, hunting. So
Okay,
him I go bush and then me I go hunting tomorrow. So
okay.
early
Well,
in the morning. Hunt me a
okay.
big buck in the morning. So
So Javio and
mm-hmm.
I building your blessings,
Big up
Javio.
yourself, Javier. Big up yourself, bro.
Yeah, man,
I'm
Javio. So Jerry, well,
mm-hmm.
me I gonna ask Javio if step up to the bar since him check in already. Make sure someone like up the live and
Yeah, man. Double
more
tap the screen if you dip on your phone, guys.
more know what is on the life goals and wanna do for achieve it
Mm.
and what help you need or what advice you need. See my brother there, Junior, in the building.
All right. Big up
Blessings, my
yourself, man.
brother.
What's that?
Yeah, man. Blessings, Junior. Yeah, man. So we want to
Mm-hmm.
talk to everybody and kind of find out, what is your life goals. So
Yeah.
what me I gonna do? Me I gonna start it off myself. And I know we've been doing this live now for what? 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks, about 3, 4 weeks. And
Yeah.
never really introduced myself to most of the people. And so really and truly a lot of people don't know my
Mm-hmm.
background. See Lindsay said Lindsay hi.
Junior, big up yourself. Big up yourself, Junior.
And the
Mm-hmm.
boss, Junior, she are the boss, man. Me just there for a good time and
That's
a
it.
long time, So
Free talk.
basically, what me I gonna do,
Well,
me I gonna just introduce myself so everybody can understand what background we come from and
mm-hmm.
why we talk about life goals. All right. So me I gonna start with me. All right. So when I
Mm-hmm.
already know born and grown in Jamaica. Um,
Yeah.
Left Jamaica when I was 21 years old. Moved to New York City, and then 3 months after me moved to New York, me joined the army. All right, I spent 10 years in the army. I did. I finished up my time in the Air Force Reserves. All right, and I did 25 years total in the military. All right. Um, Education wise, um, I have a associate's degree in law enforcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Criminal justice. I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. I have a master's degree in
Business
business
administration.
administration. I have a master's degree in healthcare administration, and I have a master's degree in homeland security. All right.
Go on.
Um, and then currently I work for the Department of Justice. So I've been doing that for 16 years. So that is my background from a professional standpoint. Okay. So I have what I can say is I have a lot of experience. I don't consider myself successful as far as a career goes, but
Yeah.
I consider myself driven, right? So I know what I wanted and I went after it, right? And I feel like, especially for a lot of people that's doing YouTube, I feel like a lot of people have a plan, or hopefully they have a plan, you know, where they what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish, you know. Oh, blessings to Golf Adventure, Golf in the building too. So
Yes,
we're gonna big up
blessing, blessing.
everybody as they check in. Let me give Golf
Mm-hmm.
a little blue jacket there so on they
Yeah.
can check him out if you don't know him already. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what me say. You know, we are. I've you know, as a person that's achieved a lot of different things, I still don't feel like I've accomplished everything I want to accomplish in life. Like there's more things that I want to do, more things that I want to learn, because I don't feel like you ever stop learning. You know.
It's
Um.
always a learning. It's always a
So
learning experience every day that you get up.
yes, 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 and I totally believe in that, and I also believe that you have to figure out what you want in life and where what you need to do to achieve it. You know. Um. So me gonna make Lynn, since Lynn's here as well, me gonna make Lynn kind of introduce herself as well. So because we are getting ready to start Lynn channel as well. So we want to understand the experience level that we're coming from, based on our experiences. So Lynn, talk to the people.
It's like a sweet, it's a sweet and spicy. Sorry,
Hello,
you
everyone.
guys.
I'm also prior military. I started my military career in the Army National Guard, where I entered into the military my junior year of high school and started basic training. That's probably one of the um, only military options as far as joining your junior year of high school without having graduated. So I stayed in the Army National Guard for 13 years. Um, then I did another 6 years active duty Army. Um, so I got a lot of experience with the military, a lot of, I have a security background, um, an investigative background. Um, I've been uh, running an office of approximately 500 people for the last, what, 15 years. Um,
So she's a boss.
so I've mentored a lot of people, assisted a lot of people with no experience whatsoever to get government jobs. Um, Even when people not having a plan, having them talk to me. let me know what type of goals you're trying to reach. Um, Sometimes it's hard for people to ask for help. You know, that's the biggest obstacle, I think. And then some people have the mindset where they feel like um, they don't want charity. It's not charity. Um, you usually need at least one person to believe in you. That's where it starts.
Mhm.
If you have one person in your corner telling you you can do it, because you'll have a lot of people telling you you can't achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And I think that's the biggest hiccup that we see in the community. Um, and hopefully, this platform will help someone realize is at least one person in that corner and can help them achieve their goals. I also have a bachelor's in business, a dual master's. Um, I completed my PhD program in healthcare administration. So there's a wealth of knowledge that we can provide, and you'll see that throughout this platform and the new platform that we'll start.
So as we can say, Dr. Lynn, no feel like say, she had the smart one of the family, you know. You only have to try to keep up. But as you can see there, between the two of us, we have a lot of experience, what I would consider life experience, right? So we can definitely provide input um, where you don't usually find that information. No, a lot of information is on the internet, but is again, there's nothing better than experience, right? So you can, for example, if you want to write a resume, who better to help you write a resume than a person that actually has worked in the career field that you have worked in, you know? So for me, I've worked again when retired from the military. I retired as a chief master sergeant, which is the highest enlisted rank you can achieve. And for me, I've always been a person about helping the next person, right? If you talk to any one of my troops when I was in the military, I was always about helping that next person up. And they would always ask me, okay, how did you achieve um, your position, or how did you achieve your next rank? I'm gonna tell them, you have to think two levels above what you're trying to achieve, right? And if you have a mindset that, okay, not just the military, but in any job, right? If you say, for example, you want to be a manager in a whatever company you work for, if you look two levels above that and say, okay, my boss is boss, what does it require for me to get to that position? Well, me have to qualify for what my boss can do, and me have to qualify for what my boss's boss can do. If I adhere or make a goal that I'm gonna learn everything that my boss's boss knows, well, when it's time for me to get promoted to what my boss is doing, then it's easy because I'm actually overqualified for what the next level is. You know, so if you think two levels above where you're trying to accomplish, you know, you will always it won't be a harder task when you actually get ready to kind of move up to the next level. You know, and for me, that's my mindset. I know, Lynn.
Um,
You know, we talk about it all the time about goals and achievements. For me, it's not about the paperwork. I mean, anybody can get a what do you call it, a certification or anything else like that. I feel like when you have a passion for something, then you put more effort into it, right?
Yep.
So you can
Yeah.
basically, anybody can pick a career and just do the job. But you know what they say, if you love what you do, it's not a job, you know. So since we have Jerry on the live, Jerry, just kind of give us what you would like to share about your
Yeah.
background as much as you would like to share, you don't have to put out as much information, but just kind of let people know
Well,
what your background is.
like I said, I have a lot of mechanical background, um, a lot of fabricating background, um, logistics background, um, many things. Telecommunications background, as in fiber optic cabling and stuff like that. So I have a lot of stuff under my belt. Like he says, jack of all trade, master of none. Um, Pretty much everything. So I mean, I went through the whole nine as far as like carpentry, plumbing, mechanics, diesel mechanics, turbine mechanics, um, electrical generator, um, especially when it comes to logistics, air cargo for 20 odd years, running trailers, tractor trailers cross country, um, and then running warehouses and stuff like that. So I did a lot of that stuff. So
So
that's about it.
what I
I mean, I
mean,
really I don't try to get into details on
mhm.
YouTube about my personal stuff
Right,
still.
right, absolutely, absolutely. But what advice would you give to someone that's trying to plan a career, and what advice would you give to somebody
Um,
that's trying to figure out what they want to do?
love love what you want to do. Love what you want to do, and it's not everything that you're gonna do that you're gonna love. Just understand that it's not every job that you're gonna get you're gonna love, or every career that you're gonna love. You might not love it, but guess what? When it comes to finances, it well provides.
Hmm.
And sometimes you're blinded by some things that we say, all right, we don't like this. And then meanwhile it's financially stable versus what you want to do.
Right.
So sometimes it works different. Because I mean, I drove trailers for a country for 20 odd years. Um, when it comes to logistics, I'm very well rounded, especially when it comes to maps and stuff like that. I'm very well rounded when it comes to navigation and maps, GPS systems, and whatever you want. And it's just been life experience traveling around the whole entire, going to different places, experiencing different things and different people, spread out to different people, different cultures,
Hmm.
um, the way different people live. You know what I mean? And it was an experience, and I'm glad that I got that experience to travel all over the place and see different places. I still got videos and photos of stuff that I've taken, trips and never developed. So years and decades. So yeah,
And
about
that's
20
exact.
years driving
Yeah.
across on the road. And
And I
yeah,
feel like
so,
you bring up a good point, because
you know,
as you bring up a couple of good points. And one of the good points is that people don't want to go outside of their comfort zone. Um, and sometimes that's what you have to do, because guess what pays the bills is what pays the bills, And that's what you say. You might not like what you're
exactly.
doing right now, but it pays the bills. So once you get yourself
Yeah, maybe what you want to do, the market is not really there for it.
right, right. So once you get
So,
stable enough, then you can kind of figure out, okay, this is what I really want to do. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that do jobs that don't
put it
really like
put
what
it to
they
you this
do.
I never thought the job that I was in now would be something that I'll be doing.
Hmm.
Never in my wildest dream thinking I'll be sitting in an office behind a computer. It was never my style. It was always me being outdoor. I mean, like I said, my dad ran a freight company, had a big trucking company, and I've been running with him since I was 16, 17 years old.
Hmm.
And it's like I've learned over the years. I've taught trailer drive. I've put people on the road that were well older than me in their 50s that I've taught how to drive and put them on the road, put them on the map, get them out there. At a young age, I learned some serious skills, especially when it comes to navigating across the states and stuff like that. It was really amazing seeing some of the things that I've seen. and just a life experience teaching other people that
Mm-hmm.
same thing. And I was in my comfort zone at that point, but I still wasn't being fulfilled what I want. I got bored. After doing it for so long, I got bored, and then I just put it down in 2012 and just got back into computers and office stuff. And lo and behold, here I am, project manager, of some of the biggest projects that's on my own right
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing.
now.
At some point, you kind of figure out where you want it to go in your life, and you kind of set a goal and move towards it, right? Because that's
Yeah,
the thing
so
is.
you set a goal. Like, let's say, for instance, a person might have a house as a goal that probably don't own a house. A person might have a yacht that they want, or maybe even a special car that they want. You set that goal and know that, well, look, what am I going to have to do to get there?
Mm-hmm.
What level do I need to step by and to get up to that level is to get where I want to get?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
I say season. That's what season says. It
because
says.
of the bills, all right, the bills, all right, let me explain something to you. Yeah, the bills never stop. That's something for the rest of your life that will never, ever, ever stop. It will never
Yep.
give you a break. There's no days off. There's no time out. End of the month, 30th. Yep, here it goes. Pull that. Your phone bill, your light bill, your water bill, your gas bill. That's just consider that your daily living.
Mm-hmm.
Without that, you cannot. Let's put it that way. I mean, some people can do without, especially um, like let's say for instance, a lot of people can't do without the internet nowadays because it's how a lot of people communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So it's like you put somebody in the woods, you put you in the woods, you'll be all right. Put me in the woods, we'll be all
You'll be
right.
all right. Yeah.
Mhm.
Put certain people in the woods, they'd be going crazy.
That's
No
true.
caffeine, um, certain
No
amenities that they
phone.
do in
No
life, no
internet.
phone,
Yeah.
no internet, and they have to find their way around places or navigate to a certain place in the woods or something. They lost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, it's not everybody that you can put in certain environment that's gonna actually
And
feel comfortable.
right. And for me, it's all about maybe it's my mindset, but it's all about adapting to your environment as well, right? So see, like
Anywhere you go, and
for
that's one of the
Clark's,
main things.
so Clark's just said it's not that simple, especially. So Clark, step up, come up to the bar and tell me what you're talking about.
Yes, Brian, step up to the
But
Tiki
yeah,
Bar,
man,
man.
yeah, cause him there
Okay,
right next to you, so him better
in
step
the
up to
right
the
there.
step up to the tiki bar.
Mhm. You need
Me
to step
already,
up after you done cook the food, brother.
yeah, man.
Mhm.
Me already pin him to the live, pin the live. So
Mhm.
just click on the link. Jerry, show him what he need for do.
Yeah, Brian,
Make
just go to the
let
top of the chat and click on the link, bro. Because I
click
gotta
on the
finish
link
cooking.
and come talk to it, cause we want to hear what
Yes,
you have to
yes.
say.
We want to hear you up. Because
We
let,
want we want to know what kind of
let's
information.
continue. As Brian, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man.
What is this? Continue with what? Yeah, yeah. And yes, continue. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Here comes Brian. All right, good deal. There you go.
All right, once him pop up now,
He's gonna come up. Hmm. What it says? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Enter in the studio. Big blue. Yeah.
blessing, Sister Shaman. There he is.
This is Miss Charmaine. All right.
Yes, my brother. What go on? Blessing,
Yeah.
Sister Shaman.
No, what's the glasses on? I can't see, so.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna run. Bless up yourself. Thank you, guys.
All right,
Like I
Jerry.
said,
Well, you know you're gonna check back in later, but you got to talk to Clark's
yeah, man.
legacy
I
and
cook, like I said, man, I cook. I can't hold the phone and then I oven and all these things at
yeah,
the
man,
same
yeah,
time.
man.
Brian, I'll go on with the chat because Brian will show you a few things. See you, man.
All
There, so
right,
let me see.
let me give
All
him
right,
a jacket so people can go check
all
out
right.
them
Cool,
chat them
man.
too. Respect, Jerry. All right, so talk to it. So what you say now?
All right. I don't even know if I have much expertise to talk about. It's just, um, I'm more of an animal guy, so I train animals and that sort of thing.
Okay.
So I'm not much into the business side of things. My wife always cuss me say, "Oh, you need to write stuff down," but I'm very mental, so like I know how much it costs, I know how much it costs me, I know what I'm going to, but then it always get messed up because
You know,
You know,
write it down.
writing down stuff is always, it's always a better way to remember things, right? So, um, especially if you're for a younger person who's starting out who don't have information,
Mm-hmm.
information on because you know, like as Jerry was saying, about put people in a certain situation who will survive and who won't survive, and you look at younger people who some people can't even boil egg.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we as the older, I mean, the not so younger
Right,
generation,
right, 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 right. I'm right there with you.
us as the not so younger generation, need to. And I mean, we can give them the information, you know, but as our parents always say, you can give you can lead a horse to
Oscar
water, but
water.
you
Can't
can't
make him
force him to
drink.
drink,
Yes.
right? But as long as him have the information, as long as you give him that information what him need,
Mm-hmm.
then you put him in a better position to succeed,
Right, right.
right? Now with all you and your wife's expertise and
Experience.
experience
Mm-hmm.
in business side of things. I'm actually looking to learn, but that's a lot of things because I'm actually trying to start a business right now.
What
But
kind of business?
animal business, man. Chicken.
Okay.
I'm trying to do I'm trying to do um a grilling a grill spot like a Friday evening type thing.
Oh, so
But
you're talking
I
about like a
am
restaurant. You're talking about like a restaurant.
yes.
Okay,
But I
okay.
am I prefer
Mm-hmm.
because I don't like how people raise chicken. They just have them in a little spot and them eat and crap in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
I I came up with a solution on how to not a solution but a different way how to raise them so the meat gets a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
the quality of meat and the taste of meat and things. So I am trying to start that with somebody else, but this person, it's like you don't know where his head is at times.
Mm-hmm.
And that blocks me from even wanting to push any further, right?
Yeah.
And it's in a different situation. And
Yeah. You froze up for a second. What you say now? You say in a different situation.
yeah, we were in a different situation, and similar similar things happen where I'm waiting on him to do something that him just never come true,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm thinking about because I I will be spending all the money,
Mm-hmm.
right? And when I think about me spending all the money and basically doing all the work, and all he's doing is sitting and looking at me doing the work,
Right.
right? Now I don't know how to deal with that. I can find another partner to do to partner with, but
Mm-hmm.
thing and thing because I'm a friend. You understand? He's my
Well,
friend, and
But with
yeah,
partnership,
yeah. You know when it come friend and business no mix, you know.
need a contract.
friend,
right,
friend, family, and business no mix,
exactly,
right? So at the end of
exactly.
the day, if you so let me ask you this: do you have a business plan set up like oh you want what you want your business to look like, a location and so forth,
You
or
just start from
I have
the
it.
ground up.
I have it mentally. I
mentally?
don't.
Okay.
No, because of this person's the way he's going, he's behaving.
Mm-hmm.
I have it mentally, but I don't write it down yet. But what I think I
And
should do is write it down and
Mm-hmm.
apply it to whatever situation I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just write it down, and if I have to do it without him, I have to do it without him. But I can I know I have it written down and planned out.
So Johan has a
Because
barbecue
my wife
joint.
is also very administrative, so she can.
So actually, I keep you straight. So Johan,
Yes,
Johan,
yes,
I ask
that sounds like it.
about is it a barbecue joint or is it like a regular?
But we want to outdoor
You freeze up again. See there? Probably lose some signal. You want bless up. Welcome to the live. Make sure you like up the live when you check in. Yeah, I think Clarks is having some. Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
who's connect. Oh,
Oh,
somebody
somebody.
just came in. I think my
Oh,
wife
somebody
just
tried
came in with
calling.
her.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah. So as he was saying, and the reason why I asked him that question is because even though you have a plan at the back of your head, you have to write it down. So tell what kind of restaurant you say you're
Was I
trying to.
connected to your thing?
Yeah, man, you're good. But I don't know if I the signal.
Lost him again.
Yeah, we lose you again. I don't know if I the signal where you're there. All right, there you
I
go.
don't
All
know.
right.
There's a. I'm not connected to any Wi-Fi. I'm
You
not
can
supposed.
you probably need to be at the house.
Your hotspot.
Oh yeah,
The
you probably.
interrupt my thing.
Find a person saying get up and go.
So season say you need to find a person that has the same get up and go as yourself. Otherwise, that is what happens. One person ends up doing too much clear plans as to who needs and what is needed. So yeah, that she's
All right,
actually very.
sorry about that. My wife walking with her phone and me connect to her hotspot, and
Oh,
it's not very good quality. So the
that
phone
don't
just
that.
jumped to her.
Me, me not think your wife gonna like you. Say that.
No, we're just talking about Wi-Fi. We're just talking about
All right,
Wi-Fi, nothing else. Just the Wi-Fi, nothing
all
else.
right, just the Wi-Fi.
Everything else is perfect.
All right, I remember that. So that's what Season said, right? She said, and she's very correct about that. Is that you have to find somebody that has the same mindset as you do, that is driven as you do, because you don't want somebody who's not as invested in a business. It's a partnership, right? So the person
Right.
who are gonna be your partner is supposed to be just as invested in your business as you are. Whether it's one person, two person, however many partners you decide to have, everybody have to have an equal stake in it and have to be willing to put in the same equal work into the business. Even if it's YouTube, whatever it is, you need an equal partner in everything that you do when it comes to business. You know.
I mean, yeah, you can. And there will never be an equal partner. It's because his input is more time than money.
Hmm.
He's putting in the time that I don't have.
Okay,
Right.
so then that's the equal part of it then. If
Right.
he, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
he's
but
the only one
then
in the business.
he's not putting in the time the way I would put in the time. You understand? So that
Yeah,
is where the problem is. That is where the
right.
problem is.
And that's what I'm saying. He has to be just as invested in as you are, because if you are providing the finances and you expect him, because funny enough, you said that you hear me talk about, if I watch my video, the I talk about doing a food truck, and
Yeah.
I have friends that are chefs, are that I feel like someone could have run the food truck for me. But just like you, I feel like, well, I don't feel good about myself if I'm not there to put in the equal amount of work what him a put in. You see what I say? So
Exactly.
I could
Exactly.
easily finance it and him a run the food truck, but at some point maybe he can get burnout or something like that. Or so I want to make sure, say when I do it, I'm retired from this job and there's nothing else that's gonna distract me from that business. Is what I say? And
Hmm.
that is the thing where you have to kind of draw a line where you say, okay, am I putting in enough time in this business for it to be successful, right?
Are gonna be a silent
Are
partner.
yeah, are you just gonna be a silent partner, provide the revenue to somebody else
Oh
to
no,
run,
no, no, no.
you know?
The partnership, is to, because I actually do have a job which I am trying to leave.
Right.
And once this thing kicks off enough,
Mm-hmm.
then I can put 100% of time into that. Right?
Right.
But for now, I have to do my 9 to 5.
Yep.
and whenever I can drop in there, I drop in there.
Yep. Yep. So now you have to just basically for you, I would say, well, you say your wife is very uh organized, right? Your wife is very organized. So
Yes.
basically kind of since you don't like write it down and you have it in your head already, make she write it down and organize it for you, you know? Cause usually I saw it work, Me, I can think of any little thing. And me usually run it by Lynn so she can because she's more organized than me. Said speed. Me can come up with some very good ideas, but when it comes to organization, she's 100 times more organized than I am, right? So me know
Right.
what I
Right.
want to do, but if you put it down on paper, yeah, I mean just like you, I'm very bad. We put it down on paper, you know. So again, you actually have a partner at the house already. You have to just leverage what you have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
you know.
I've been trying to get her on board, but she's working with the PNP people, them, and before election come around. So so
Mm-hmm.
them election
A
and
different thing.
politics take time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So so I guess when she finish with that, she will find the time for me. I guess.
Well, like you said, she have a job too, so she have to do it for her job as well too.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
But
man.
that actually brings up a good point. There's depending upon what kind of business you want to go into. That's another. There's so many factors that affect what you're trying to get into. Like for example, you talk about politics. For some businesses, if you don't have no political connections, you might not even get a business off of the ground. You know,
Exactly.
you know.
And
So
and but I don't know if you remember how Jamaican politics work,
no, me know
where
exactly how
where
Jamaican
people
politics
run
work.
behind the politician for a handout and them something. And I've never been that person. I've never been that person. So
You see,
um,
see, I get
if
some good
them see,
advice. Yeah, you see what Johan say. He say also the food business here on top of it, employees tend to pilferage. I was in the industry for 10 years. Few cents here and ingredient there. Be aware of that, which is true. Which is
oh
true.
well, it's more like a 2 or 3 person job, So if it's not missing from one, then the other one must
It,
know.
it yeah, yeah, exactly. So that and that's something else. There's so many factors because a lot of people say they want to start a business, and that's the thing is a lot of people don't do the research because especially for the all right since we are talking about the food business, right? So like over here, I don't know how it is in Jamaica now because I never opened a business in Jamaica, but I know in the food business here, you have to get certified by the state, whatever state you live in. You have to get certified by the health department. You have to get a passing grade. Your facilities have to up to standard and all those different things,
Yeah,
right?
man. All of that have to apply. All have
Right.
to apply.
You have to, and then you think
Different
about
business
yeah,
licenses depending on the type of
licenses,
business
um,
certifications.
business contracts with companies to deliver food, all these different things that you have to consider. You have to consider basically getting yourself an LLC and getting yourself
Or sole
a good
proprietorship.
lawyer. So just in case somebody sue you,
Insurance,
you have to get
business
good
insurance.
insurance. So there's so many things people don't think about.
Well, Jamaica is a little bit less strict than that.
Right.
We do need the the health department and the
Which they should.
municipal corporation.
They should.
We,
You saw
we
what
do
with the
need it,
little
and
woman
if
a
you
crab. You see the little woman a crab hero circle. That's why we have that problem there.
hey, worse than that has happened there. It's just that nobody never did it
Never did, yeah?
Hmm.
for
Yeah.
sure. But worse than that happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Is just what, as we say now, Jamaican is a bandage type of thing. So when we only fix it when we see it, we don't try
Mm-hmm.
fix it before it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I haven't started this thing yet, because I'm trying to fix it before the problem starts.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have to have a serious meeting with him, then that's what we have to do.
Yeah. And at some point you have to just basically sit down and have a serious conversation about what you really want to do, and when and then set out a goal within the next 5 years. We want to be here. Next 10 years, this is where we want to be. And it no matter what kind of business you plan to do, you know.
No, it
Um,
doesn't.
I think a business, and just we are talking about life in general. So the topic is life goals, and
Yeah, yeah,
at the end
yeah,
of,
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's figuring out what you want to do, and then figuring out the means to get to your goal. You know, and if
Yeah, man.
if you're running a
The,
if you're
the,
running a roadblock, how you gonna deal with that?
so, and that is one of the information that I was talking about. One part of the information is that a lot of people don't know how to navigate certain hardships when
Mhm.
it happened to them. So,
Mhm.
for instance, somebody stealing from you, you don't know how to deal with that in your business.
Mhm.
You cuss them out, and them still them still
Them
there
start thief from you.
after you cuss them out. Or you just leave it alone. You don't know how to deal with it because you don't want to get on people wrong side, or you don't want this, or you don't want that, or some crap why you just don't deal with it when it's supposed to be dealt with. But
Mhm.
it's just that people, us, don't, like you said, we don't research, so we don't know how to deal with certain things when they pop up.
Mhm. So, so for me, from a military background, right? And I think this goes to any business, not just the military, right? But one of the things we were always taught was when you get a new employee, right? You set an expectation, right? Once you set the expectation, you're always continuously evaluating that person, right? So basically, I tell them, you always give them feedback on how well they're doing the job, how well they're not doing the job, right? And you document it, right? Always
Mhm.
document it, because if you don't document it, it never happened, right? And anybody in the military will tell you that, or anybody in the work in the government will say, if you don't on paper, it never happened. All right. So you set the expectation, you evaluate. You always do it's always do good to do performance evaluations, whether you do it every 6 months, every year, quarterly, every 3 months, or whatever. You document that as well. And then where you have a good sense of what the person's there for, what they're trying to accomplish. Because remember, people work for you as well. They have a goal as well too. They have
Right.
aspirations of doing. They might be have the aspiration of doing the same thing you're doing at some point, but they just want to learn how to run a business. So you have to, once you set that goal, you evaluate them, you reward them, right? If they're doing a good job, right? If you're doing a good job, you have to reward them as well. So you can't have them just at work and I work and I work and I work, and you know, give them no incentive to work
Hmm.
any harder, right? Because they always say the good thing about being a good leader is that it's not how many followers you have, it's how many leaders you create, right?
Exactly.
So you always want to empower the people that work for you to be better than you. If you empower them to do that, then you will have an employee that will always work for you because you are empowering them to be just as good as you are.
Right.
Is what I say? And
Yeah, man.
then and then you just follow up. You just continuously follow up with them and provide feedback. Because when it comes to if they're not doing the job correctly, yeah, tell them so they not do the job correctly. If they're doing and then you give them an opportunity to fix the problems that they have, right? Or that what they're not doing right. You give them the opportunity to do that, and then you reward them for doing the right thing and doing the best thing. Because you find that when I employee trust an employer, that employer will do anything for you, So that person will probably be the first person to say, say the person will work until I thief money out of the register, because that person trusts you that you are trying to empower them as well. It's about empowerment.
Start freeze up again.
Oh no, yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
So see, Johan said a lot of people feel helpless because they don't know what to do. And that's true.
Yeah, man.
That's true.
Yeah. This is Many people don't do this,
Mm.
and this is we don't see we don't see black people empowering black people. We definitely don't see Jamaican people empowering Jamaican people. So big up yourself.
And that's the thing. We have, you see Jamaican. I'm not gonna say just Jamaican people, but me can only speak for the culture what me grew up in. If
Yeah.
you look at I don't care which country you're going to. Most Caribbean, I must say Caribbean people are people from other countries where have worked very hard for what them have. When they have the opportunity to to
Ice.
be successful, they're gonna work very hard. And you find that a lot of Jamaicans up here, if you look on different industries, a lot of Jamaicans are very successful up here because them work hard when they're home and them realize say, all me have to do is just do my job. You not even have to do nothing extra, but we always do more than what we need to do, you know?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So my phone a die, and them a
Okay.
call me for food. So
All right, yeah man. No, I'm
again,
glad to
big
see
up
you could have
yourself.
come.
Me we join back on the live. Me we
Yeah,
just
man, we,
go on
we
now.
already we already have your name down. So whoever you might be if you're the only person who come in on the live tonight, we're gonna talk. But again, we're gonna figure out who we're gonna choose for help out based on what their goals are and what their plans are. All right. So respect
Mhm.
for coming in and checking in on the live.
Yeah,
All
man. Yeah,
right.
man. Respect.
All right. We'll see you in
Blessed.
a little bit.
Uh,
All right, my family. So we still are waiting for some more people coming in on the live, cause we want I said we really and truly want to provide guidance and provide help to somebody that might really need it. The sister Charmaine asked why the link up is ice. She don't drink, sister Charmaine. All she eat is ice.
I have a backup.
Oh yeah, she got Mountain Dew. So let me see what Season says. Season says if they really fit the bill, you could add them into your business in a small way so that they end of the year they get a bonus, share the love. Yeah, and that's true. You really and truly have to provide incentive if you run a business that you have employees, right? Because again,
Reward them for their hard
yeah,
work.
yeah, you reward them as much as you punish them, right? So if they do something bad, then you punish you give them the due punishment. If they do something good, you give them the reward, And like I said, if employees feel like you're gonna take care of them, because you want people to work for you because they want to, not because they have to. There's a big difference. You always hear the term managers and you hear the term leaders. It's two different things. You know, leaders lead, managers manage, right? Leaders know how to lead and manage. Managers just know how to manage, right? Because they do what's within their job description, right? Show up, make sure say you're there at work, make sure say you do your job, clock you in, clock you out, and that's it. You know, write your evaluation when they need to write your evaluation, right? That's what a manager does. A leader develops you, right? A leader is consistently developing you. Like, as I tell people all the time, when I was in the military, I was always mentoring my folks or my troops to take my job at some point, right? That was always my intention. I was like, you need to move up or move out, right? So I could have easily stayed in the military for another, what, 10 years, maybe. I could probably do 30, 40 years in the military if I wanted to. But for me, I was like, well, I achieved the highest rank I could achieve. I could probably go to a higher position. But for me, it's like I did my time. I knew when I was done. So it was easier for me to move out because once I move, it's a domino effect, right? Basically, when I left, a whole bunch of people got promoted because somebody had to take my position and so forth. So it's a domino effect, you know. Hold on, what,
Um,
what Johan say?
hi.
Hold on, let me see what Johan say. Johan, I'm sorry I didn't say hi to you, legends. I just checked in with the guests and I kept the conversation going. Yeah, Johan, blessings. No, no, you're not nothing wrong with that, my brother. You came in at a well, I'm saying my brother. I'm hopefully Johan is a brother. Or a male. Or my sister. Well, I don't know. But anyway, blessings, Johan. Yeah, no, you made some good points, and that's the thing. We're trying to, as I say,
Share the knowledge.
yeah, share knowledge, empower people, because as we say, a lot of times, um, people, the information is there.
You just don't share.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what Lynn said. A lot of people just don't share the information, and sometimes you have to go out there and basically get the information yourself. You know, I've been in a lot of jobs where nobody was helping me to or mentoring me to learn the job, and I could have easily sit there and complain about it and say, "Boy, well, them not show me nothing, so me not gonna learn nothing. I just sit on here." No, again, what is your life goal? What do you want to accomplish, right? And you know who the best person to take care of you is you, right? The best person to take care of you is you, right? Because that's the thing, a lot of people, as they get as they move up in their career, they always forget about themselves. They always forget about taking care of themselves, you know. And again, if you set a goal, you are going to come across obstacles, right? There's nothing that you do you don't come across obstacles. Me always say, every day you wake up, your life is based on a series of decisions, right? So every time you make one decision, it's multiple crossroads. So me use my hand as a, this is your decision, your first decision you make when you wake up this morning. And when you make the decision, these are all your other decisions that you're going to have to make to basically come to the goal, which is the final goal you're trying to get to, right? And every time you make a decision, that's going to branch off in more decisions, and it's a constant process. So every day throughout your life, you're constantly making decisions that's going to impact how you get to your final goal or what your final result's going to be. And you as a person has, if you don't have it's all about mindset, right? I tell people all the time, it's about mindset. If you what them say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? If you defeat yourself up here already, then you've already
You already
you're
lost.
lost, right? So you have to have that mindset about what you're trying to accomplish, and then move towards your goal. Again, there will always be obstacles. I don't care how proficient you are in anything, everybody goes through obstacles. It's just how you deal with those obstacles, right? You can't easily sit down and say, "Boy, that's it, I'm done, I failed." Or you can figure out, okay, well, this is the obstacle I've seen. Okay, how do I navigate this and go beyond that obstacle? Whether I go through it, around it, over it, you know, or turn around and go the opposite direction, right? You have multiple options. And that's what I tell people all the time. There you go. There you go, Johan. It's like branches in a tree. That's our daily life. That's every day. No matter what the decision is, you know. If you decide, say, what am I, what am I gonna eat today, right? You're still gonna make multiple decisions, right? Guys, you're gonna say, okay, I want chicken. All right. Well, what am I gonna eat with the chicken? That's your next decision. All right. I want rice and peas. Okay.
Are you gonna cook it or are you gonna buy it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna buy it from the restaurant, or I'm gonna cook it myself. Oh, okay. Well, me not have no peas. I'm gonna go to the store. Okay, how may I get to the store? Do I have a car? Do I have to take a bus? So there's all these decisions that you have to make consistently. And again, a lot of people, I have conversations with people all the time about choices, right? And at the end of the day, I tell people all the time, we always have choices. No, circumstances might dictate how you make some of those choices, so we don't disagree with. the circumstances that you're in. And it's kind of funny. I was having a conversation last week with Papa Dennis about this, where we talk about you being a product of your environment. We didn't agree. Well, I think we both made the same point. We just didn't agree in how we were expressing it, right? But you are a product of your environment. You choose which side of your environment. Well, and my that's just my personal belief that you choose which side of the coin you want, based on your circumstances and those web of decisions that you have to make, right? You choose where you're going to end up, Now, life as we know it might dictate something else, right? Life, life, life is a series of monkey wrenches, as they then call it, obstacles, right? So you're always going to get those obstacles that's going to be in your way. But again, your mindset is how am I going to deal with those obstacles when those obstacles are in my way? How am I going to deal with those obstacles? Am I going to fold and sit back and be defeated? Am I going to find a way around, over, through that obstacle? Right? That's and again, not because I've been in the military, but to be in the military, you have to have that mindset, right? In a life and death situation, are you going to sit there and let the enemy kill you? Or are you going to fight back and take charge of the situation that you're in? And I feel like in whatever life goals you decide to do, you have to have that same mindset, right? That no matter what, I'm going to win, right? I'm going to be successful, you know? And again, like I said, if you defeat yourself mentally before you even start, then you're not going to be successful in whatever, you know, goal you have or whatever, um, I don't know, business or whatever you decide you want to do in life, you know? So anyway, the Tiki Bar is not for me to just sit here and talk because we already get Clark's Legacy to come up and, give his perspective. So we want some more people to check in, especially my younger folks out there. I know there's a lot of silent watchers out there. So the link is posted. It's pinned on the at the top of the chat. So yeah, as what we said, we are. This is to give people information that they might not have or might not have thought about, and then we want the opportunity to help somebody that might have a plan, a business plan, and is
Absolutely.
meeting some obstacles, and they might need some advice or financial help or something. But we're trying to, you know, see how we can generate this conversation, get people to come up on the platform and give us what their thought processes and what their life goals are, and how we can help them to be successful in those positions. All right. So on the can make Clark Legacy win the
By
prize,
default,
by default. Cause
that's
right,
where it's looking.
yeah, cause right now I'm the only one who decides to come up to the bar and talk to it and make we know what I go on. So we are here. During the conversation, as what I said, when you check in, admission to the bar is just like up the live, and then talk to it, make we know what you guys um life goals are, what your plans are, and you know how do you plan to achieve those. You know, so and again, when you come up on the live, you don't even have to show your face. You can just check in, block your video or whatever, block your face or whatever. But yeah, we definitely would love um a lot of people to just kind of check in and give us the opportunity to hear what their story is, what they're trying to accomplish, and again, see how we can help somebody, because again, we're all about each one teach one, each one help one, and that's a goal that we've always had, and this is a goal that we've we are now trying to use this platform to basically help as many people as we can. Um, you know, I feel like there's so much negativity out there um, right now, and you have a platform that you can reach the world essentially and legitimately help people that legitimately need it. Right,
Right.
right, Lynn. So yeah, man. When you check in on the live, I know there's a lot of people that are probably doing their lives and doing their videos and stuff right now. So, well, a Jamaican people, me I did most of my subscribers them are Jamaican. Nothing against my Jamaican people, but I don't love show up late, and show up late at night, and then you know, and then expect why if you stay up late. It's like when you invite them at the cookout and say the cookout starts 6 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock them a call you say, yo, the cookout still a go on. No, I'm there in my bed. So
Always have those late
yeah,
birds.
so you have to make sure say people check in on the live, you know. So I hope everybody's if you have any suggestions as well, um thank you, Johan. I appreciate that. No, we as I said, we are trying to we're going to Lynn's new channel is gonna be basically dedicated towards that. So we're basically getting all the equipment together, as always say, just like what we are talking about today. We are make a plan, we are, so we're basically, I've been doing YouTube a little over a year now, and I've learned a lot about things that I need. So you know with Lynn's new channel, we want to make sure so we do everything the right way, because again, we learn from doing this channel what we need to do um, for the next version. So PR channel like a blow up bigger.
2.0.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Lynn 2.0, not Win 2.0. But if Lynn win, then win. Let me get that. Let me get that. So yeah, so we're legitimately taking our time. We're not just gonna throw up another channel. We're literally living what we are talking about right now, which is having a clear goal on what we're trying to accomplish. Because initially, when I started YouTube, well, even though YouTube is a lot of fun, um, there you go. You see, this is your question and perfect timing because I have to take a quick break. So Lynn, talk to the people and I'll make your hand. Let the people know what your plan is for your channel. Because give me 1 second, people. Me soon come back. But oh, me have a small bladder. Me soon come back.
Nobody asked you about all that.
So you can answer your hands question.
All right.
You want to get the seat? You
Yeah.
comfortable?
Yeah.
You want a slushy?
I'll get one when you come back.
Okay.
Okay. To answer the question for this new channel, it's really going to be about empowering others. Um, the goal is to put out information where knowledge is power, whether it's about physical security, emergency preparedness, getting people ready for the workforce. For example, um, when my oldest, you know, was ready to graduate from high school, a lot of times so many people put pressure on their kids to either go to college, um, go to work, or whatever the case may be. Um, One of the things that I told them, because we have 4 kids, but I wanted it to be their choice. There's too many emphasis on you living your life for someone else. So I didn't want their decisions to be made on us. So when she started, you know, only my contingencies, if you want to go to college, pass the classes, because I'm not going to be paying for classes and you're not passing them. And my other goal was remind them, hey, college isn't for everybody. You don't have to be successful going to college. Um, One of the things, you can just be just as successful opening a business, whatever the case may be, you know. So for her, you know, she took some classes. Some of them she was passing, some of them she wasn't. And I just sat down and talked to her. I said, college isn't for everybody. So she took a break. The next conversation I had with her was, you know, people, we had employers coming in, and based on the job that I work at for the government, I had a lot of influence on hiring or having her work, because I managed like 3 contracts. So I could easily, you know, have her hired or whatever on one of the other jobs. Because a lot of employment is about who you know, especially in the area we work for. Um, so, but what I told her was I was not willing to bring her in based on her work ethics. Um, and it's one of those things, I feel like, being straightforward with all of our kids based on her work ethics. At that time, I was not willing to put my name out there, because then, for one, you're a direct representation for me on me, and then for another, um, based on the, you know, if she get disciplined or something like that, you know, sometimes there's adverse influence there. So after that discussion, you know, it was different ways that I helped her, but she achieved goals a different way. Um, and she's doing something she enjoys and is passionate about. She's in, you know, working at her college degree, but at that present time, she was not ready. So I feel like this platform will assist people really looking into what they're trying to achieve. So if they're looking to join a business, you know, whether it's um, becoming a barber, cosmetologist, um, whatever you might want to open your own restaurant, it's basically helping them get, you know, develop that plan, whether it's helping them draft their business plan. Um, Credit repair is something else that, you know, have a vast knowledge about, that a lot of people don't even know where to start. You pay all these companies, you know, to improve your credit, and some of them do worse damage than when you started. And it's just empowering you to know um, what's available and how you can improve your credit on your own without that added assistance or additional um, repair that you don't really need. Um, you might need help with resumes. So the knowledge that I have, I believe, will help a lot of people. And it's about sharing that with the world, really.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you know what Lynn was saying is there's a lot of um, frivolous companies out there that um, their goal is to, you know, take your money, right? Their goal is to take your money, and again, it's not like the information is not there. It's more about knowing where to look, right? Where to find those resources. Um, One of the things is kind of funny. I had the privilege of serving in two branches of the military. I served in the Army, I served in the Air Force. And as military branches, we talk smack up, we talk junk about each other, right? But the one thing I learned when I was in the Army was the Army was more about they teach you how to reference information, right? So you didn't have to basically memorize the information. You just needed to know where to find the information, right? And so it's more about referencing. It's like going to a library, right? It's about what part of the library provides the information that I need for the information that I'm looking for, right? And that's one of the things we wanted to do was provide a resource to that information, because a lot of times, as you mentioned before, Johan, that a lot of people don't know where to look for the information. As much as we have Google and all these other things, um, I think we have done a lot throughout our careers that we know how to navigate a lot of that stuff, So especially for the younger generation that's coming up now, that have a solid mindset in what they're trying to accomplish, they can basically reach out to us and say, hey, like I said, she's great at writing resumes. She did all my resumes, so I credit my career to a lot of it to her, because she, like I said, I know what I'm, as Clark's Legacy said before, I know what I want to do in my head, but there's a difference in when you put it on paper, you know, like
Wording.
wording. We and a lot of times we have found that even with careers in jobs, in resumes, right? Certain, well, not certain, but pretty much every company is looking for you just need to get your foot in the door, basically, right? And once you get that interview, then it's up to you to basically sell yourself, right? Because every job, no matter the industry, you could have, I'll just use, say, for example, a car sales company. Like remember, every car sales company has their own way of doing things. So no matter what industry you go into, you're going to do it the way they do it, right? So it's just to get your foot in the door, and then they're going to teach you how they do it, right? And if you have done multiple jobs like I have, like Lynn has, throughout our careers, you kind of see it's the same pattern. It's the same pattern, right? Same pattern. It's just getting your foot in the door, right? And then learning what they require of you in your job. And then once you get in the job, then you have to navigate how you're gonna move up in that industry, if that's something that you want to do. You might want to do something else. So again, as Clark Legacy said, or Jerry said earlier, sometimes you have to do a job that you don't like because it pays the bills, and then figure out how you're going to get to what you really want to do. And again, we talk about, there's a lot of people that are doing jobs that they're not happy with, or that's not their life goal, but it pays the bills, right? So how do you use a job that pays the bills to get you to where you're happy in doing what you really want to do, right? For example, I know she talked about our oldest daughter. Like, she loves music, right? She wants to be a musician, but at the current stage where she is now, and we encourage her to do her best, but that's a part of life. You have to figure out, okay, is this really? Like, you have to pay the bills first. That's
It's a
if
hobby.
you, if you don't pay the bills, you're gonna be on the streets, right? And
Right.
you can't accomplish your goals if you're out on the streets, right? So sometimes you have to do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do, right? That's the way. That's the best way I can put it. You know, do what you have to do until you do what until you can do what you want to do. So that still goes back to your mindset. It still goes back to planning, and you know, there's people that make minimum wage and are happy and are not even just surviving, but actually living a prosperous life. You know, but again, what is important to you, right? What is the is the Mercedes Benz, is that your that is that important to you, or is peace of mind and being able to, you know, do what you want to do, come and go as you want to, and that takes time. You know, I think we live in a world of instant gratification where everybody, you know, wants to um, be successful today. You know, it was absolutely on the point answering the question. So wonderful. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We have lived a life of service, and I don't feel like it should. You know, throughout your entire life, you should try to help somebody else, right? Because throughout life, we get experiences, right? And especially if you have children, right? If you have children and you're telling them, you know, I always say lead by example, right? Because people are going to emulate what you do. You know, people always ask me all the time, "Oh, how are you guys so successful?" I'm like, "Well, I don't consider myself successful. I mean, but success is measured in what you're trying to accomplish,
Right.
right?" So yes, I should consider myself successful, right, based on what we try to achieve throughout our life. You know, and that encouragement is always there. You know, if Lynn sees something that she wants to do, I'm going to encourage her to do it. But I'm still going to be a voice of reason if it don't make sense, right? And vice versa, you know. So don't feel like we don't argue about it, a lot of things. Um, but at the end of the day, you need somebody from the outside looking in to kind of give you a different perspective on what you're trying to do, because none of us has the end all be all, or none of us I feel like, you know, when you think you're the smartest person, there's always somebody smarter than you, or there's always somebody that has the experience that you don't have. You might be fresh out of college and all you know is the bookwork, right? And to me, there's no better experience than hands-on experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I mean, back in the day, there's a lot of engineers in this world that have never had a college degree, but I guarantee you they can do the job just as efficiently and maybe even more than somebody that just went through
College.
4 years of college
Mm-hmm.
or however long it took them to get whatever degree they have. You know, if you look at if you look at nurses, you know, nurses have more experience than doctors. Why? Because nurses have more hands-on experience with diagnosing illnesses than doctors do, because doctors don't see patients until the nurse has done the evaluation, right, and takes the recommendation from a nurse. So you think about it, the doctor makes probably 3 or 4 times as much as a nurse does, but the nurse does the work. You know what I'm saying? The nurse is the one that basically provides the diagnosis, so the smart doctor can make a final determination. You know, and the only thing the doctor is essentially doing is verifying the job that the nurse did. But we're so conditioned in a society to recognize position, right? So we're like, oh well, if the doctor say it, then it's true, not realizing that the nurse did tell you the same thing, but because it's the nurse, you know, take the nurse word feed, even though the doctor can't make a decision without that nurse providing a diagnosis. You know, you have your physician's assistant. So in any career field, you know, and I'm just using that as one example. Um, but at the end of the day, you know, again, goes back to your mindset. What are you trying to accomplish? You know, and what are you going to do to accomplish that? You know, how hard are you willing to work to accomplish that goal? You know what I'm saying? So, so we are about an hour and a half in. Right now, I only have one person that has stepped up to the Tiki Bar and kind of gave us a synopsis of what you're trying to accomplish. And not saying I don't want to help Clark's legacy, but I wanted to give somebody else an opportunity to step up to and give us an opportunity to help somebody else as well. You know, it might still win the prize, but you never know. You know, so we are here. I think we're gonna give it probably about another 10 minutes. All right then.
Unless we
I,
have
I,
a rampage of people
yeah,
just
unless people step up to the bar and start talk to it. You know, again, this is supposed to be an interactive live, even though we are answering questions or comments that people put up on the live as well too. You know, so we want to be as interactive as possible, and we want people to just come up and talk to me and make you know, you know, what are your goals? What do you plan on doing? You know.
so one of the things I want to mention, this year has, especially in the US, there's been a lot of changes, you know, and there was a time when certain jobs people had, they thought they was secure, especially in the government.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, a lot of people really found out even jobs in the government isn't as secure as you thought they were, or in the armed services.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you get a new outlook on life. And one thing is I like to always say, all money is not good money. One of the things about us, based on my experience, um, education, and all that, I could be have a higher paying job than I have, but the job that I'm doing, I enjoy doing, and I weigh other options. You know, it was not important to me to drive an additional 20 minutes for another $100,000 a year. That wasn't important to me. Um, I weighed other factors that I felt was more important. So sometimes you might want to do like a pros and cons list. That has always helped, you know, um, with me when you are trying to make a difficult decision. Um, and we're getting ready. We just made another. Well, it wasn't real difficult, I don't think, after this year.
What?
Me putting in my retirement.
Yeah. So she's retiring. She ain't old enough to retire from
Now
anything, but
they offered an early retirement. Um, I've been weighing the option. I was all up until what, October last year. I started running the numbers, and and that's what I say when I think about weighing options. Sometimes you gotta see when you see changes in the environment and you no longer enjoy what you're doing, you might want to start looking elsewhere. Um, and this was a decision that I made. And I've been talking about it for a while, even before all the madness started with the government. Um, it started, even though, I'm at the top level of where I work, um, in charge of a lot of things, make a lot of decisions. for the organization that I worked for, but it was no longer rewarding to me. I mentored several people that worked directly for me, um, to jobs in the government, several contractors I helped, that didn't even work for me. But when you feel like, you know, the people you work for are minimizing some of the actions or different things in nature in general. So I've decided to um, take an early retirement because it was offered, but we weighed, was it the right time?
Mhm.
You know, even though I didn't meet the age requirements, I met the years. So I decided to go out early and do something new, um, which is one of the things, helping others is all about.
Mhm.
Um, because what I'm seeing, some people need that extra assistance, extra help to look beyond of their current state. So, it's a lot of people losing their jobs and they don't have no plan. You know, it shouldn't be, oh, my immediate thing is to go on welfare or anything like that. You may have an ambition of starting your own business. You may not even know where to start. So we can help you brainstorm, give you ideas, talk to us to let us know what it is you're good at. What have you done in the past? And that little bit of information that you can provide to me, I can look at and, give you other options, you know, because like I said, you don't have to go to college to be successful, you know. So I don't care if it's, you know, being a barber, being a YouTuber, you need equipment, that's easy, you know.
I
It's
won't say
just
easy.
take I'm not saying easy, you had to put in the work, um, of course, but the easy part is just putting your mind set
Right.
that I want to take the next step in this journey.
Yeah. So the easy part is first figuring out what you want to do. Right. That's the easy part. The hard part is sticking with it.
Yeah.
Right. And think about it. Oh, so blessed spiral block. I know you just checked in. Vibes 39. Blessings, my brother. Welcome as well. Um, but it's not gonna be easy, you know. And that's the thing, goes back to what I'm talking about, mindset, right? You have to understand that, as what them say, nothing in life comes easy, right? You're gonna have to pay somewhere. You're either gonna pay on the front end or you're gonna pay on the back end. Well, most Jamaicans are like that word there still, the back end. But we don't know what I talk about. All right. So but yeah, you have to make a decision at some point. Um yeah, what it's a good things as well. Yeah, there you go. Good
Mm-hmm.
things very come don't it doesn't come easy, and it might seem easy in the beginning, right? But then, as what you said, there's two sides to every coin, right? So you might flip it and you get the easy side for the first couple of years, and then things take a turn for the worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then it goes back to, okay, you've been doing good so far, but what was your contingency plan, right?
Yeah. Backup
So
plan.
so so a lot of people, and that's the other thing what we talk about a lot, is that nobody ever considers the alternative, or I won't say nobody. Most people don't consider the alternative or what the backup plan is until they get into that situation where they need a backup plan, right? Um, Yeah, or that's what it says, probably a plan B, a plan C, a plan D,
Hmm.
all the way down to when the alphabet ends.
Oh yeah.
You need to have a plan for what you're going to do. And again, just because you make a plan doesn't mean that's how it's going to work out, but at least you have a plan. You know, as what I say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You know, I've said this a couple of times in the live already. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? And if you have the right right mindset about accomplishing your goals, you will be successful. Believe me, believe me. You just have to, everything takes effort. And if you decide that this is where I'm trying to go, you know, don't, because again, multiple obstacles in life, and it's how you deal with those obstacles. You can, again, you can fold up and decide that you're just gonna quit, or you're gonna take it, roll with the punches, and figure out the next route. What's the next avenue of approach that I can use to accomplish what I'm trying to get to. I always use, you see, I use the military a lot because we talk about strategic thinking, strategic planning, right? You can't you can't run a mission from as one of my commanders say, you can't run a mission from a foxhole, right? Which basically means is that if you're at ground level, all you seeing is ground level. You're seeing what's in front of you, right? Directly in front of you, and you have to address the situation that's in front of you. When you think strategically, you're seeing the whole picture, right? So based on where you are in the process, you might see, again, okay, my goal today is to cut the grass, not the yard, right? So if I'm going to make a plan to cut the grass, not the yard, okay, I need gas for the lawnmower. Um, Based on the size of my yard, I need a riding lawnmower.
Hmm.
I'm not gonna dead pushing a regular
In this
lawnmower
heat.
around, right? And then, so I get the gas, I get the lawnmower, right? And okay, what else do I need to accomplish as far as cutting the grass? Okay, we probably need to do some edging. So what am I gonna need? I'm gonna need a weed eater. All right. Okay, we need gas for the weed eater. Well, weed eaters usually use a mixture of gas, so we need, you know, spiral. Hey,
He
trust me,
used to talk
trust
about
me.
that.
But here a spiral. If we get a goat, him probably end up on the grill still. I'm gonna end up being curried. But but that's what we say. So that's my plan, right? That is my plan. So all right. So now execution day comes. So I say, all right, I'm gonna cut the grass Saturday. It's a curry come later. It's a curry come later. Yes, curry come later. So you see curry, but you see spiral exactly what I said. Me never plan to curry the goat when me get him. Me plan to get him to eat the grass and keep the grass level. But at some point, I see the goat get fat enough. So I go on, throw him on the grill and curry him up. You see what I say? So that's my contingency plan, because if me get hungry, me know so me can't eat the goat. You see spiral. Spiral know exactly what I talk about. This is what I say. So you see, that is the contingency plan, right? So I plan to just raise the goat, make him eat the grass and everything, but me have to account for me two crazy dog them too, right? Because Ranger and Chloe probably chase him around the yard, and him not gonna have time to even eat grass. So that is part of my contingency plan as well. So as what I say, going back to the plan. So now I get everything what I need. Me have my gas, me have my lawnmower, me have my weed eater, right? So then now me come out to cut the grass. Guess what I forget? So the dog then drop load all over the yard, right? So guess what I think? Guess what I forget? Me never think said the fact, so me have to pick up them thing there before me cut the grass. Or never sprinkler system in the yard. We might need to make sure so the sprinkler system not turn on, or make sure say the lawnmower blade not drop low enough where it's gonna mash up the sprinkler heads. So there's so many different things I'm gonna just use that as one example. You know.
And that is a good business to start as well.
Oh yeah, landscaping,
If you don't have any options and you're looking,
landscaping.
mm-hmm,
You see, you know, it's kind of funny. A lot of people look down at the guys that do landscaping,
they get paid.
and it's a good business. It's a if you're willing to do the work.
It just get hot in the summertime.
Well,
So make sure you plan, do it early, late in the afternoon. You good.
and,
Job
and
security.
you control your schedule, and that's another thing, right? We live in a time where it is so easy to start your own business now, right? You know, 10, 15 years ago, you know, 20 years ago when I was growing up, we didn't have this opportunity. And for our kids, I look at it for our kids now because, and even for us, to to start a business if we decided to do that. Yeah, and we can, if that's something that we decided to do, we can do it. We have the opportunity to do YouTube and whatever you decide you want to do. The options are there now. You know, yeah. See, as Aspara said, never look down. But and that's the thing is, I tell people all the time, you know, and again, forgive me because I always go back to the military because I've done it for so long, and um, people tend to minimize their jobs, right? And I always say everybody has a role, right? Everybody has a role in this thing we call life. And I can tell you a story. I was in Iraq in 2007, northern Iraq, and I remember we do what we call a post check, right? Which is just basically as the leadership will go around and we check in on the troops, make sure everybody's doing all right and so forth. And I remember going to one of the posts, and I was talking to one of the troops, and I asked him, how are you doing? How is everything going? And he said to me, because I was a military police in the Air Force. So I said, how is everything going? And him say, I feel like I'm a high paid security guard. I mean, look upon him and say, you know what? You can look at it like that, but how about you look at it like this? I said, think about the facts, because he felt like degraded because he wasn't one of the guys that was actually going outside. We got going outside the wire, which is going outside the base and actually doing, you know, combat missions, as they call it, combat missions, right? He felt like he could be doing more. And I said, well, you can look at it like that, or you can look at it like this. The guys that actually go out there every day get blown up by IEDs, get shot at. When they come home and they come inside this fence, they trust you to do your job the right way so they can actually go to close their eyes. They feel safe enough to close their eyes and go to sleep at night. And he looked at me and he said, you know what? I never thought about it like that. And I said, yeah, because you're minimizing what your role is, And that comes with peer pressure as well, because a lot of times, you know, you think about in the simplest form, right? Tiger Woods wouldn't be successful without his caddy. Don't feel like his caddy don't know golf. Don't feel like he doesn't confer with his caddy on what his next shot is going to be, because the caddies know the course probably better than the golfers themselves. You know. So at the end of the day, oh, boss lady, bless up yourself. Welcome.
Um,
You know. Um, and that's the thing. It's like everybody wants to be the trigger puller, or everybody wants to be the boss, or whatever it is, but everybody has a role. We all have a role. It's just, what is your role, and what is your goal for where you want to be, right? There are some people that have jobs that could get promoted, be a boss, but they don't want to be a boss. One, because they don't want their responsibility of having to um, making decisions or anything. Not that they couldn't make the decision, they prefer their quality of life, right? For me, I spent years on the road with 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 my military job, my civilian job. So now I get the opportunity to spend more time with my family, and that's more important. Not saying it wasn't important to me then, but I had to work to get to where I am now, to where I have more time to spend time with my family, um, than I did when I was working my way through my career. You know, so sometimes we get kind of blindsided because we're like, oh, I'm focused, I'm trying to get to this position, and I can move up, and then you realize at the end of the day, none of it matters. You know, one of my boss, my supervisor, he's my one of my best friends. Um, he says it all the time. He said the only thing that matters in life is who you love, who loves you, who you support, and who supports you. Other than that, nothing else matters. No matter how much accomplishments you make in your life and all those things, guess what? When you walk out the door, you're just another name. You know, at the end of the day, even in the military, right? You can get the Medal of Honor. Guess what? How many times do they recognize you? Aside from your family that remembers what you did, there's very few people that's going to remember what you did, right? So do it for you, not for somebody else. Don't do it for the recognition. Do it because you know it's the right thing to do. And that's what you know, as I said, people will do the right thing no matter who's watching. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and again, it goes back to what I was saying about mindset. You know, having that mindset of what's my goal, what I'm trying to accomplish, and how do I start, you know, planning it out. You know, you're never too old. You're never too old to make a goal. Look, I'm gonna patent that, you know, so I'm gonna write that down. All right, you're not too old to make a goal. All right. So you heard it here first. You're not too old to make a goal. It is documented. So I'm gonna patent that. All right. So boss lady, you're gonna step up to the
She's driving.
platform. Oh, she's driving. Okay, okay,
Hmm.
she's driving. Okay. All right. But I don't know nothing still. Me and Lynn can't hold it down, you know. I don't know, we stay already, you know. We're there at the Tiki Bar. We have slushy in the background. A mix, when you can see the slushy machine. We have what's that? Mango go off a slushy. I make right now. Once the mosquito them come out, we're gone still.
Oh yeah.
So right now, the mosquito them now bother we. So we are going all our vibes, you know. But
But
I'm
we're hoping to hear from some of you out there,
that me I say
you know,
that me I say because
because I know it. I know it's some out there that have some new job ideas they want to.
new business ideas, something, somebody wants some help with some YouTube equipment, some cameras, something. But you can't tell me this. Don't come on my platform later on and ask for help and me give you the opportunity already. I tell you right now. I'm giving you the opportunity right now. If you're a silent watcher and you need some help with that, you have a good business plan or something that you need some advice or help with, I'm giving you the opportunity now. Not saying me won't help you at all later on, but I gotta tell you right now. Oh, the dog, them a chase rabbit or squirrel or whatever. But anyway, yeah. If you know silent watchers out there, I don't know want to come in from the live, as I say, you don't have to put your face up on the camera. And I carry them two dogs back inside. Talk to them, Lynn. Let me carry the dog them back inside. Come on, you two. Hey, let's go. Babe, tell them.
Huh?
You know if you put if they come up on the live, right?
Yeah, I know how to.
Okay. Come on, let's go. Inside.
But yeah, we definitely want to hear from some other people on what they would like to achieve this year if they had the opportunity. You know, it's a lot of times that's not enough people helping others. And we really are looking, to provide that community support to others that is so much lacking from. the world today. So that's one of the things that we set off early this year, wanting to help others, you know, because there are opportunities that some people are lacking, because they don't have that support from anyone. And, fortunately, we're doing well enough that we can assist others. And that's just something that we are trying to achieve this year. Oh, yeah, definitely. It is hard to find true support without somebody looking from something from it. You know, we're not trying to gain anything out of helping others. It's just something that we really want to see other people be successful, because that's something that is so much lacking. You see so many people trying to put others down in order for them to achieve success. You ain't got to put others down in order to get the success if you're deserving of it, you know. So hopefully this platform will continue to show the growth and the success that others can achieve uh, by just helping someone else.
I'm making a slushy for Lynn. Sorry. Mm. Oh, that's good.
Thank you, thank you.
Doesn't have any alcohol. She doesn't drink.
Mm,
But yeah,
that is good.
good, ain't
Mhm.
it? All right. Yes, Spiral. We have a slushy for you, brother.
Mhm.
Anytime you're ready.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
That's the mango guava slushy.
Mm.
So yeah, man, let's talk to it. That's what I'm gonna say. We are at 1 hour and 57 minutes in. We're probably gonna shut it down and cause we have to eat, We have to go eat. So if we're not fashionably late, we're gonna miss out on a good live. And right now, Clark's legacy is the only one that, well, Clark's and Jerry. So we are going to help somebody today, somebody that needs some advice. Okay, so what we are eating today? Boy, Clark's, you already know.
Spot.
I put some, oh, Spiral, I put some jerk pork on the grill today. So that video is coming out sometime this week, later on that week. All right. Oh, so wildlife family. Yes. Blessings, wildlife family. Oh, so they come in, man.
I
Me-
know you'll step up to the
Yeah, man.
bar.
Me want step up to the bar. Step up to the bar, cause me know more help you know. So wildlife family, you guys, me know have a team. If you guys haven't been over to Wildlife Family TV, definitely go over there and um, check out their channel. They have a really good content. Those guys are one of the true meanings of teamwork. Yeah, they've been working together for a long time. I remember when they just started. A long time I watching the channel as well. So I know when you guys started out, um, I remember you being on Junior's channel and getting advice from them. So this is the perfect segue into, if you can see what is scrolling across the screen. All right. So what are you trying to achieve? What's your goal and what are you trying to achieve? So all you have to do, wildlife family, anyone I know, just come up on the platform. As when I say, you don't have to
Show your
show your
face.
face or nothing like that, but just click on the link, join the chat, come up to the bar, all right, and just kind of make we know what your goals are for you or you and your team, or you in general, whoever leads the team, and we're going to
Help,
help you
help someone.
or help someone to achieve those goals. You know what I'm saying? Cameraman, bless up. Bless up, my brother. Welcome in, welcome in. So yeah, man. Anybody that wants to come up on the live and let us know what your goals are and how you plan to achieve them. As we say, me and Lynn plan on helping someone, but the only way we can help you is for you to let us know what you need help with or what your plans are based on your goals and what you're trying to achieve, right? So we might stay a little bit longer because a lot of people
It's just now starting to
start
wake up.
start wake. Yeah, everybody just eat and get them little nap or them little sleep, them little after dinner sleep and a touchy now. Me know it go already still. I think it's a bar, so I'm not gonna show up fashionably late. But that's how it goes still. At 2 hours we there talk, and I feel like we have had a good conversation so far. Um,
I'm trying to tell you.
you say I just a slushy your knees. That's it. All right, me not blame you. Me I tell you, man, it's slushy bad man. And then you have an option of what you want to add to it if you want to make it a little bit more, you know. No, dangerous is the word we use. Then you can just add what you want to. But it's a good slushy. It's nice. So what was step up to the bar?
They don't like public speaking. I don't
Me
like
not,
public
me not
speaking.
understand that. Especially the one on our YouTubers. I don't understand how on our YouTubers. I want to know
Like public speaking.
public speaking. That is, I can tell you, when I started YouTube, and again, goes back to goals, right? When I started YouTube, as much as you see what my job was in the military, I had to speak in over to like sometimes hundreds of people at one time, and it took me a while to. I never liked public speaking because it's like no matter how outgoing of a person, I can talk to any group of people in any aspect, but you put me in front of a big crowd and me get the butterflies and I get kind of frightened. But over doing YouTube has actually really helped me to kind of get better at public speaking, and I'm sure the people that do YouTube that have been doing it for at least a year have know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, where when you just started out, you're never really too confident in front of the camera. And then as time goes on, you get more confident speaking. To yeah, remember, yeah, speak to the world. You know,
Hmm.
and if you take pride in what you do, and I know a lot of you guys out there, guys and girls out there that have YouTube channels, have probably can probably agree with me that if you put in the work and you do the editing and you try to do a really good content, and then you see somebody was just you can tell they don't put no effort night, but they get a lot more views than you are, right? And I say, yo, this a video, I want to get so much views. But again, people like what they like, right? And you just have to goes back to again what we're talking about here. You know, what what's your goal for your channel? What are your goal for your life goal and how you're gonna accomplish it? So if we're going to use YouTube as an example, once you figure out what they talk about your niche, right? That's what something that you're good at for your channel, and why people keep coming back to your channel is because of what you provide. So you still have a plan for that, right? You still have a plan. Okay, what's my goal 5 years from now? Are you still gonna be a YouTuber 5 years from now? You know, are you going to be, if you're not making the money that you expected to make, is that the make or break, right? Is that gonna be the reason why you quit YouTube, right? Um, for like wildlife family, you have a team, right? How many of your guys on your team want to branch off and do their own YouTube channel, right? But yet still maintain the integrity of your team, because you see how it is on YouTube, right? One of the biggest obstacles, if you are a team, if you have a channel with multiple members, right? People will try to separate you, right? As a team, is a art of war strategy, divide and conquer, right? If we can put something in your head for you guys don't work together, then I can break your team up and you guys are not successful. That just means that this, especially if you do something with same content with me I do, guess what? The less competition me have, the better it is for me, right? So, how do you guys deal with that kind of challenge, right? Um, you know, as a team, do you guys get together once a week, and is it one person that's coming up with the content? Does everybody have input on what content you guys are going to do? That's a part of planning as well. You know, are we going what equipment we need? All right. Do are we going? Is everybody, when they get paid for our content? Is everybody putting money back into the business? Guys, it's a business, right? You have to look at it as a business. So, you know, all right, me get my money. All right, me gone, and then there's only one, maybe two people I provide. Um, what do you call that? Uh, Finances towards the business. You know, I can tell you personally, like again, YouTube for me is an outlet. I think it's a good outlet. Um, and I can tell you, um, I have not the money we spend on YouTube. I have not even close to being making back. But when you think about business, that's one of the obstacles of business, right? You have to spend money to make money, right? So at the end of the day, well, blessings, yeah. No, yeah, man. If you can't come up, if you can't come up, that's fine. If you can't, then you can always type your comments into the live. But I would rather have a you know open dialogue conversation. Fine art, blessings, sis. Welcome to the live. Yeah, man. And when you check in, make sure you like up the live. So for those of you that are just checking in, um, just want to again thank you for coming into the live. And so far, we've having a good conversation about what are your life goals and how do you plan to achieve them. All right, and like we said, we wanted to help somebody. Um, that's Lee. What's up, Lee? So we wanted people to come up on the platform and just kind of give us what their goals are, life goals are, and how they plan to achieve them. And our goal is to try to help at least one person that has come up on the live, um, whether it's advice or some type of financial help or something like that. We get to decide what we're gonna do based on what we hear. So, um, but we need. So far, Clark's legacy is the only one.
Oh,
Um,
happy birthday.
oh, happy birthday! Happy birthday, sis. Yeah. Oh, so you and Jerry have the same birthday. You're supposed to go check. Go link Jerry. Jerry have a big party over my house. Okay, so here we go. We all value each other's opinions and we all contribute back to the well-being of our channel. Everyone has an input and we all agree together.
That's
Then act.
good.
That is outstanding. That is outstanding. So tell me, how do you guys I mean, what's your goal? What's your goal? I know you say your internet not too right now, so you can't come up and talk. But if you can, either come up on the live or click on the link, come up on the live, and just give you a quick synopsis of what you are trying. What you guys plan to accomplish, and what what would it take for you to accomplish your near goal, your near term goal. So if you can come up on the live, that's fine. If not, then just put it in the chat. Because we are trying to make this as interactive as possible. And that's why if you look at the chat, you will see the link. All you have to do is click on the link, join the live. All right. We will put you on the platform. Again, you don't have to
Show your face.
show your face or show your location, you know, but it's a little bit easier if we can just kind of hear you talk and tell me what your life goals are, you know. Because as you can see, me I try work the phone on the iPad at the same time. So that way I can keep up with the chat as well, you know. Thank goodness I have Lynn here with me. So she monitor one and me I monitor the other one, you know. But again, when them say teamwork, make the dream work, right? You know. And that's what we are trying to accomplish with our channel, with Lynn's new channel, is um, you will see a lot more of this um, on Lynn's new channel once that channel officially drops. Okay. We'll be providing a lot of this information. Oh, she cooks and roasts. Welcome. Welcome to the live. Thank you for coming in. I know you're not scared to come up on the live. She cooks and roasts. Well, I mean, I said nobody did scared, but you know, what I'm saying is come up on the live. All you have to do is click on the link. The question for the day is right scrolling across the screen right here. Look, and if I'm gonna give her
A jacket.
a jacket as well too. So if you haven't been over to her channel as well, check her out. She is off the hook. She is off the hook. She does some wild crazy cooking. Yeah, I love her channel. Yeah. Sorry, my dad drink some coconut water. Me tell you something, you know. It's our privilege to have them luxury, you know. See that? Coconut. But me have to buy it now buckle. So if you live in Jamaica and you have a coconut tree close to you, be happy.
Not gonna find that in Maryland.
You have to search all over the internet to find some decent coconut water. So we can have it readily available, you know? Mm-hmm. See? We tell them, so the mosquito them, I get ready for start. Come on. I'm gonna turn on my zapper. You see it? You know hear that? That means some mosquito me just kill. Yeah, man. That's the only thing about this time of the year. We have to deal with a lot of bugs. Coconut water, sis. Coconut water may I drink. You don't see it? I'm still waiting on somebody to come up on the platform. See there? See the jelly coconut there? Mm-hmm. And then I drink slushy.
It's
Man-
good too.
Mango guava slushy. So yeah, I'm hoping that we can get at least one more person to come up on the live and step up to the bar so we can hear another life plans and how you plan to achieve them. Talk to the people.
Or if you need assistance getting to the next level,
Mm-hmm. We don't mind. We don't mind helping people that,
have a true need.
yeah, have a legitimate need. Um, you know, if you need help with some things, or if you, and again, it goes back to what your goal is. You know, there are there are definitely a lot of people out there that don't necessarily need the help, and they are using multiple people to just get money from. I don't subscribe to that. To me, be honest with me and tell me if you legitimately need help. I will help you if you need the help. Or if you try to feel like say you're smarter than me, I'm gonna find out that you can't get nothing from me no more. So I make you know that now. You anybody will know me intimately, know that I'm serious about that. I love I love helping people. I love seeing people being the people that I've helped be successful. You know, that's what I say. We have to lift each other up. You know, and to me, when God bless you, when God give you blessings, you should bless somebody else. You know, um, they always say pay it forward. You know, so no matter what small blessings you get, it's a blessing, right? And if you have the opportunity to help somebody else, then take that opportunity to help somebody else. Because I can tell you from experience, the more blessings you give, the more blessings you receive. And believe that the the, the universe really and truly revolves that way. You know, so take my word for it. That is a fact. That is a fact. And you know, they always say when you don't give to receive, right? You don't give for the accolades. You don't give because you're gonna get something back. You give because it's the right thing to do, right? You give because you know that it's gonna help somebody have a better opportunity, a better life, something,
Mhm.
you know. And it don't matter how small you give, is the fact that you do give, right? You don't have to broadcast it to the world because, you know, the things you get back in return are gonna be tenfold. But you have to give from your heart, you know. There's a difference, you know. If you're if you're gifted to receive an award, then you're not giving from your heart, you know. And at some point that's gonna crash, you know. So at the end of the day, give freely, give willingly, and give from your heart, you know. And trust me, let me tell you, it God will repay you. Or whoever you believe in, whatever supreme being you believe in, is gonna repay you just because you gave willingly and you gave from your heart, you know. So again, we have a platform here that we try to, well, we have for so far avoided the negativity and so forth. um and you know we've tried to help people here and there where we can, when we can. um and it's just about spreading love and giving people the opportunity to be better and to accomplish what their goals are. Again, doesn't have to have a monetary value, um, but it could just be advice. It just could be to provide information, and sometimes it just that one little nugget we never really think about. As I said, it's always good to have somebody from the outside looking in, because you're in that space and you might not see objectively because it's your space, right? So you have somebody else that from the outside looking in. It's always good to reevaluate your situation, right? See me as crack a mosquito sneak up on me and bite me on my eye. So I'm tell you, so we're not gonna do it that much longer because the mosquito them will come out.
So
But
we give it another 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah, we'll give it about another 10 minutes because we're about 2 hours and 20 minutes in right now. Um, so it look like right now Clark's Legacy is going to get the prize by default. So we're gonna figure out Clark's Legacy. Make sure so you check in unless unless
As
somebody
in
come up on the
in the
live not
next
in there
10
10 minutes,
minutes.
and we have to make a decision. I want to give it a reason for make a decision. But so far, like I said, we had a good conversation. I hope somebody took something out of this. And like I said, with Lynn's channel, um, it will be more of a podcast type. Um, so that way you can come and ask questions.
A lot of
Um,
information.
yeah, if you need advice, whether it's starting a business, working on trying to get a patent for something, which is something you need to do especially if you're a YouTuber. Um,
Trademark stuff.
Trademarks and all that stuff. That's kind of something that you need to know about, um, so that way people can't use your stuff. You know, so if your long term goal is to be in this YouTube business for the next 10, 15, 20 years, then you probably need to look at patenting your logos and your phrases and all those different things that you use for your platform. Um, you might want to start an LLC in conjunction with your channel, you know, and offer services. You might rather than because I know there's a lot of companies out there that um, do the merchandise, right? That's something you can do yourself. You can manufacture your own merchandise. So basically, you remove the middleman from it. Then probably not like me to say that still, but
It's a business still.
yeah, and it's considered a business. So so me as a person, I like to do everything myself. So that's one of the reasons why I have, as I say, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. So is Lynn. You don't see her do a lot of stuff on my channel, but she, behind the scenes, she does a lot of different things. And like I said, I usually, um, when we brainstorming, I usually get a lot of input from her, from the business side of things. You know, so it's good to have that as what I say, second person looking in. So may I tell them the bug, the
Hmm.
bug them out. Come on, may I go out there act like me dep on drugs. The big bug them a come out now. I thought the only thing about this the summertime now, the big bug them a come out. We have different bugs
Hmm.
at different times of the year. So that's just something we have to deal with. Yeah, man. So what do you think, Lane? We're gonna wrap it up.
Yep. Let's call it.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. So Clark Legacy, we are going to, yeah, job your respect, man. Like I said, make sure you guys see the videos. Again, this is not the last opportunity to check in.
Just one of
This
many.
is just one of many. All right. So we will we will do this again next week, and every week we're gonna try to. Um, you guys can also suggest topics for us. Hop on the computer, the bug them there. You guys can also suggest topics for us as well. So if there's a topic that you would like to discuss, um, most definitely leave it in the chat. Um, we will consider it, and maybe that will be the topic for the next Tiki Bar live. All right. So let us know, and we will definitely consider it. So right now we only have Clark's Legacy. So Clark's Legacy, Jerry have my number. So it look like you are the lucky person this week. So we will talk to Clark's Legacy. Oh, and by the way, Patrice, she's not on the line this week, but we did send off her package, and she got her package, her stress relief package, last week. So last week we talked about stress relief, and um, Patrice Garden was the winner, and we sent her stress relief package last week. So hopefully you're enjoying that. All right, and you're actually using it. Especially the neck massage when we send it. We not tell everybody it's in the box. I think I told
You
everybody it was
did.
in the box, but
You showed them.
yeah, I showed I was in the box, but everybody, yeah, I hope you enjoy that. All right. So the bugs them are eat you up in us. So we go shut it down and we go inside and relax for a little bit. I'm gonna eat the rest of the jerk pork and we just take off of the grill. We'll see the video later on next week. All right. But thanks everybody for coming out. Thank you for everybody for checking in. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the conversation. Like I said, we'll keep growing. We'll do this all continuously. Every Saturday, 6 p.m. Most of the Tiki Bar is open, right? And don't forget to the bar. All right. So until next time, we will see you guys. God bless. Stay safe. All
Good
right.
night.
Good night. And streaming.